Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here. I'm actually in Hawaii on the Big Island still. Just finishing up my trip. I'll be heading back home in 2 days, back to San Diego, back to my routine here. So I want to do a video about, have you ever done a favor for someone and they responded with no appreciation? If so, what did you do? And I was thinking about this, it's like, it's kind of funny. I think this is one of those things that really people get really butthurt about it. And you know my kind of theory on the whole butthurt thing. If you're butthurt, you're wrong, right? Like, when you get butthurt, it's your problem. Like, you've got an issue. So the answer to that question, my answer to that question is, I don't give a fuck, right? Like, because here's the thing, it's like, when I'm doing a favor for someone or I'm doing something for someone, I'm not thinking about what I'm gonna get. I'm not thinking about if they appreciate it. I don't care. I'm doing whatever I'm doing because of my reason. And I'm actually not being totally honest when I told you that I'm not thinking about what am I gonna get from it. Because sometimes that is. Sometimes I'm doing something and my intent is to do something for someone expecting to get something in return or for them to behave a certain way. But it's not an expectation, right? I guess what I would say is that it's strategy. And a lot of times, actually, what I'm doing is I'm setting myself up for the future, is I'm doing stuff that might benefit me at some point in the future, because I know that, in order to create a network, right, the best way to build one and to be effective is that you start building it before you need it, right? And it's not about like being a really good person and just being, a saint or anything like that. It's all about that mindset of reducing the things that are outside of your control from affecting you. And that's the thing, it's like, if you let these things affect you, if you let basically what other people say or what other people do affect you and how they react to you, and you let that control your mood or how you feel about yourself, you're gonna have problems, right? You're never gonna have the ability to control your own emotions, to control your own state, to manage yourself. You're always gonna be dependent on the external influence, on the external things that happen in your life, right? So it's all about that. It's not about being a saint. I try to do things to help people, right? I'll go out of my way to do something for someone, and I don't expect anything in return many times, right? I'm not saying that I won't do that, but where does it come from? Sometimes it just comes from me wanting to do something good, but that lack of expectation, that comes from me knowing that I would like to have control over my own psychology, that I would like to have control over my emotional state and how I feel, right? Rather than relegating that to someone else. Coming back to the whole question, right? So what do? Okay, you do something for someone and they show no appreciation in return. In fact, sometimes they even like do something nasty to you in return for you doing something nice. You just shake it off. You don't care. You don't, because, and here's the thing, it's like the only way that you can do that is when you have the expectation up front that you don't care what happens, right? So that you're gonna do this thing, you're doing this action, and whatever they do in response, you have some ideal conditions, some ideal things that you'd hope that they would do, but if they don't, it doesn't matter because you don't expect anything. You don't even expect appreciation. You don't even expect acknowledgement or a smile or anything. You did it because you made the choice to do it, right? Then you're consciously making choices, right? Instead of being manipulated by a situation, instead of being manipulated by the environment and and being influenced by the environment, you're choosing to control your own environment, which is a very powerful place to come from. If you're going to do something for someone and you expect something in return, and when I say expect, I mean expect, just don't do it, because people will feel that, they'll sense that expectation that you've put on them, and it will backfire. Especially a lot of times you guys, right? I'm going to talk to you guys for a second here, and then I'm going to end the video because it's getting a little bit long, but okay, a lot of times you guys, especially you guys in relationships that have a girlfriend or whatever, or you're married, and you're like, man, I never get what I want. So you're trying to like basically like buy sex, essentially, by doing good things, like by doing things that you think are going to cause your girlfriend or your wife or whatever it is, your significant other, to like you, more, to appreciate you, to want to return the favor and do something for you. And when you do that, what happens is you're creating what is called an implicit contract, right? Or a covert contract, right? Which is basically that you are trying to commit the other person by obligating them, by doing something so that they'll feel like they need to do something for you, right? So you're doing the dishes, you know what I'm talking about, like you're doing stuff, but they feel that expectation. And when they feel that expectation, it actually creates more of a burden on them than the benefit. And people, again, this is just a principle in general. And so when you go around and you're doing good for people, you're doing things for people, expecting things from them, you're actually causing harm. It's actually causing you to lose credibility with people. It's actually causing them to dislike you, to like you less, because you're a sleazeball, because they know why you're doing what you're doing, and you're doing it for that specific reason. Don't do stuff for people expecting things. Do stuff because you want to, out of the kindness of your heart, because it's a good long-term strategy in life, because you know that if you keep on doing stuff for people and helping people out, you'll be a useful guy, people will like you, and something good will come of it eventually, or whatever reason, just because you feel like fucking doing it, but never have the expectation that someone's gonna do anything in return, or even that they'll appreciate it or acknowledge it, okay? As long as you can do that, you're going to prevent yourself from the emotional heartache and being upset, right? And strategically, you will know that by doing things that way, you are not going to create that burden, that covert contract that puts obligation on people and makes them despise you. So there you go. All right, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, if you'd like to watch more videos like this, make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.